I felt like I had to keep quiet a lot. And I think it took a while for me to find that voice back, and get confident in what I have to say and the contributions that I bring and feel safe to verbalize it in the workplace.
Welcome to the Antifragility Reframe podcast. As you know, this is the evolution of the Reframe for Resilience podcast. Resilience helps us to bounce back to who we were before a challenge. Antifragility makes us bounce forward when we have a challenge. After the challenge, we are stronger, we are better. So, in our conversations with our guests, we will be asking them to reflect on how, when they reframe, they change perspective in dealing with a problem, how did that help them to become stronger, to make their clients stronger, to make their clients better? Today, our guest is Miss Lola Adeyemo, and we are delighted to have you. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Dr. Douglas.
I very much enjoyed our pre-conversation for two reasons. Uh, One, you're originally from near Nigeria, so like myself, you're an immigrant. And I could relate to many of the struggles you shared with me. So as we get started, tell us a little bit about your journey.
Thank you, Dr. Douglas. First, I think we spoke a while. One thing has changed that I haven't mentioned to you. I completed my PhD program a couple of months ago.
Fantastic.
So I am testing that word on, but it is Dr. Adeyemo now.
So, Dr. Adeyemo,
Yes, thank you
welcome.
very much. I
Well,
appreciate it.
evidently, Dominic knew that because he addressed you as Dr. Adeyemo.
Oh, I don't think I did I hear that? I'm not sure.
No,
Maybe you've been checking.
congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. That has been a big goal for this year, and I am so glad I finished it.
Yes.
So, my journey here. So I came into the US with a F1 visa as a student. So growing up in Nigeria, my dad was a college professor, so the academic space was, it was visible to me. He got his doctorate, he got his master's in the UK, and so I always knew I wanted to get an advanced degree outside the country. So when I finished my bachelor's in biochemistry, I started applying for master's programs aligned with, the industry that I wanted to work in. So I came into the US to study my master's in biotechnology. And then I did a minor concentration in management and got into the corporate workplace in biotech industry a year later.
Yeah, very good. And so what challenges did you face, as a woman, as an immigrant in biotechnology?
In biotech. Yeah, it's so many. I think the first challenge, maybe coming into America or coming into corporate America, is language, or maybe it's the shock. Because when you're coming into America, you watch TV shows and you kind of think I speak English, right? It's English. And then you realize it's not just the spoken English, it's not the words you can read, it's the accent. It's the pronunciation. It's the British pronunciation and spelling that is different from the American. And so I think communication was the first challenge because it was more of an awareness of a difference that I didn't know existed before I came. So communication was a big part of it, and also in the workplace in the corporate America is also the low, very low representation of women in leadership. So sort of fewer visionary people to look up to in that space. You kind of feel very lonely, like I'm the only one that is different in so many ways as a woman, as an immigrant, in the spaces where I had to show up at work.
And so practically, how did that impact you? How did that affect you? How did it make you feel?
I felt like I lost my voice, which is kind of interesting way to say it because as a child I read a lot. I will be the one that would always speak my mind, and I started writing, expressing myself, but I felt like when I got into America, I kind of tried not to talk. Like I just wanted to keep quiet. Like nobody wants to listen to you. Nobody wants to know your opinion. Like somebody else will ask that question. I felt like I had to keep quiet a lot. And I think it took a while for me to find that voice back, and get confident in what I have to say and the contributions that I bring and feel safe to verbalize it in the workplace in a room where people don't look like me.
Was there anyone who helped you find your voice?
Not a single one. I actually think part of the challenge was people in the space in the workplace did not help me find my voice. I would attribute it to maybe spaces, communities outside of my workplace when I learned to connect with organizations that are very niched, not within my organization at all. Professional organizations where I kind of felt like, okay, there's nothing to lose. I can learn to speak here. I can contribute here because I chose those organizations based on certain things. So I found spaces where I felt a little bit like I can be seen here. And it doesn't have anything to do with my performance review because this is not my organization. And so it was a process of getting comfortable speaking up in these spaces. And of course, I had people that I still call mentors that but those relationships came up from these engagements outside of the workplace,
And how did mentors help you?
helping me to verbalize what it is I'm feeling and
Mhm.
helping me to explore where I wanted to go next.
Mhm.
I had a mentor that I remember having a conversation with her about applying for all these jobs and not getting them and not sure what it is I needed to do. And um, one of the questions she asked was, when do you fill your gas tank? Which I thought was a very weird question. And I said, well, after the light comes on, then I think of the next time I know how many gallons I have. And I think of the next time I have to go to the gas station. And they said, okay, so you're a risk taker. So you wait until the light comes on. And she said, that's good. When you think of career, what areas do you want an area that allows you to explore that? And I said, well, I think I'm very strategic and maybe I want to work in strategy. And she said, do you know what a strategy department does at your organization? Go and find out. Kind of helping me to explore who am I, what am I looking for? And I had that conversation with somebody on the strategy team, and I realized that's not what I want to do. And I started to bring it back again, and we had another conversation. And he said, now that you've talked to them, does this sound like the kind of space you envision yourself being? And I was like, I don't think so. I think it was too outward facing and data facing. I want something that has to do with working with people and building the organization internally. So I think the mentors that I retained helped me to explore my concerns and find my grip sort of in the workplace.
So what's the biggest risk you've taken apart from coming to the US?
Oh yeah, that was the biggest at that time. It still feels like the biggest now, but I think the biggest risk was also quitting corporate America because I quit in September, 5 years this month. I quit in September 2020.
Hmm.
So it's the peak of
The COVID.
COVID
Mhm.
shut down, no stability. And um, my husband is also a full-time entrepreneur. And so quitting corporate felt very scary for me because I felt like that's a guaranteed paycheck every 2 weeks. And and it's a Fortune 500 company, and two levels from the CEO, right? Like I felt like I have a strong path forward. If I stay here, I could climb that ladder. I'm on track. And quitting to bet on ourselves was very scary.
You said to bet on ourselves. Who are the ourselves?
Oh, myself and my husband. So when I quit, the first plug I needed to make was he had founded an IT consulting company, and it's been 4 years, just him. And in 2020, I was exhausted. I was overwhelmed. I had three kids. The youngest was a couple of months old, and my job was burning me out. And he said, well, we just won our first contract. Do you want to come join me? Because we need to hire our first employee. He's an engineer, and he's like, you want to join me full time? We can try this. And so I gave my 3 weeks notice and I joined him, but it was scary.
So, Dr. Adeyemo, tell me, what changes in your perspective happened that enabled you to make that change, to leave the safety, security of corporate America and become an entrepreneur with your husband?
First, I wanted the autonomy. I wanted to be able to help build something that I can take pride in, as our accomplishment. And in the process of building that operations for the IT consulting, in parallel, I started building my own work and brand around supporting companies, right? So I think it was first, I'm going to leave this and do this thing that is very predictable, but is more rewarding. And then finding my purpose around something bigger.
So, in closing, now that you made that change, which is a
Mhm.
big change, what is better?
What is better? My gosh. First, my skills are better. So many things that I struggle to do comes more naturally for me. Um, I have learned to use my words in ways that go beyond just speaking, but writing. So I would say definitely my skills have developed, and my um, confidence has also developed in the work that I do, and also the ownership of my skills and my work. I think working in corporate America for so long, and then prior to that, I actually worked in corporate in Nigeria before I came here. A lot of my identity was tied to those companies and the titles and where those companies, their share, the value of their shares and all of that. I think when I quit, one of the first panic moments for me that first week after quitting was, oh my gosh, who am I? Because I had tied my identity so much to the company that I worked in, for myself, right? And so between then and now, it's been able to acknowledge that it's me. I am myself. I am my work. I am my brand. And I can take it in whatever direction. The how is up to me to decide, and that's the tool that the companies become. Or my voice and the work that I want to do comes from me.
Dr. Adeyemo, that's a great example of anti-fragility. You have found your voice, you have found your brand, you are a doctor and an entrepreneur, and now you can lead and build your vision and that of your husband's vision. Together you can build. Thank you for sharing your story with us.